the guys from MSG, whom I have a great relationship with, the guys who own it. MSG does everything right. Everybody that went, usually, let me tell you what happens, and you've probably been a part of this. When a restaurant opens for the first night, when a hotel opens for the first night, it's a shit show. And you know, there's lots of bad things. They're trying to figure it out. I haven't heard one negative thing about the opening of the Sphere. The exact opposite. Everybody talked about how incredible it was. And I'll tell you this, when you go to arenas in this city, right? And let's say you own a box or you go in a box, the food is horrendous. The food is unexplainably fucking disgusting. Let's just start there. What I heard, I didn't go, but what I heard is the food was outrageously over the top good. Everybody's experience getting in and out was good. From what I hear, the guys at MSG couldn't have hit a bigger home run with the opening of the Sphere. So it's not a, let's see how this goes. I mean, these guys are one of the biggest and best in all of the arena business. And they fly into Las Vegas. First of all, the balls to open that place and to do what they're doing. And then to come in and hit an absolute grand slam home run with the opening. And you all know that I want that date. That's what I want. I want to do Mexican Independence Day there. Imagine the show that I can put on at the Sphere with Mexican Independence Day. So, yeah, we'll fucking put on an incredible show in that amazing arena for the next Mexican Independence Day. So I'm very excited about it.
Dave, going back to tonight, with Medina, you know, the Contender Series has been a great vehicle for guys coming into the UFC, and sometimes it's because there's like a quirky story around them, like Raul Rosas Jr., the youngest guy ever. You know, Sean O'Malley's in commentated by Snoop Dogg. Do you think the fact that he lost tonight but looked so tough and you made this decision on the fly will bring more attention to him when he does make his debut?
No, that's a good question. That's definitely interesting. You know, it's obviously a story around the guy, and the big question about him now is, am I right or am I wrong about this guy?
The first fight, briefly, he had some great success with the calf kicks early, and then during the third round, he sort of halfway through went away from him to get the finish with the hands. Do you, when you watch a fighter having success with those calf kicks and they stop throwing them, do you have an internal like, come on, throw that kick again, or do you just sort of think, oh well, what are they going to do?
Hell yes. I mean, that's one of the things. Remember when he walked back and talked to Laura Senko and she said, you two had a long conversation? Well, he doesn't speak English, so he doesn't know what the hell I was saying anyway. But I was saying to his coaches, he was picking him apart in that third round, right? He was using the leg kick in the beginning to set up all these great combinations, and then he completely abandoned the leg kick halfway through that round. And I was saying, when he goes back and looks at the tape, he finished them anyway. It's not like, oh, you know, I'm enlightening these guys or anything, but he ended up getting the finish anyway. But he looked damn good, and it would have been interesting if he kept throwing the leg kick and setting up the combinations, what he could have done, but yeah, I mean, kid looked great tonight.
Hi, David.
Hi.
You mentioned, you know, you've already talked a little bit about Bellator and Showtime, but I want to know about One Championship and Chaudhry's comments about the UFC fighters.
Yeah, so I get it. I got no beef with those guys, and you know, because I called out that production thing for Showtime, of course, he comes out, you know, says that today, or whenever he said it. But yeah, I got no beef with those guys. That was an Espinosa thing, but you have to admit, you know, the walkout thing was hilarious. And the guy comes out with coffee, and it was like a Saturday Night Live skit, but. Yeah, I wasn't trying to take a shot at those guys. It is what it is. And I mean, in all honesty, what should my response be to what he said? I mean, let that speak for itself.
UFC 295 is going to fall on Veterans Day this year. I'm just curious, there's a couple of fighters on there that are veterans themselves in the past to potentially have some shorts that honor them. Is that a possibility, or how?
Sure. Absolutely.
That was easy. And also, a fan mentioned a fight card that I thought was kind of interesting. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. They suggested that Volkanovski and Ilia Topuria fight, and then as co-main O'Malley and Merab, and potentially have, you know, two Georgian champions on one night. What are your thoughts on that kind of a card?
When are they saying this? They're just saying, oh, this would be great.
Yeah.
Sure. we fights made all the way up to like February 3rd or 10th or something like that. So we've got ideas for March and April.
So are any of those 4 fighters I mentioned?
What was the main event that you said?
The main event would be Volkanovski and Ilya Topuria.
Okay. No.
Co-main event.
No.
Well, you said.
But who suggested this?
Just a fan. I just thought it was kind of
Well,
interesting.
thank you for your input, but no, we don't have any of those yet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right over here.
Yep.
Is Jose Medina getting the contract the craziest story in Contender Series, given he's never had a proper coach and obviously the toughest he showed up tonight?
Is Jose what? What did he say?
Is that the craziest story, given like his background going into this fight and all that?
The craziest story of him not having an MMA coach and being on Contender Series tonight getting a contract. Is that the craziest story of those?
Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that I'm signing him too. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's all crazy. I don't know. Well, we didn't find out he didn't have an MMA coach till after the fight. When I signed him, this guy came back and said, listen, this guy's never really had a coach. This guy just does this on the side. So it made me even like my decision more.
And I saw you mentioned there that Showtime tried to do a better job with the production. I'm assuming you're referring to this past Saturday, if that's correct.
You said Showtime tried to do a better job. Are you referencing the fight this past Saturday?
Yes.
What did you think of the fight?
Let me give you an example. This is how good our production is. You see Pettis there tonight? Okay, so the kid that threw the Pettis kicks off the fence, there was 3 seconds left of the round, right? 3 seconds left of the round. I picked up my big red phone, I called the truck, I said, put those Pettis kicks in the package. No problem. Hung up the phone, they put 3 seconds left of the round. They put them in there and they showed Pettis. Now, if any of you were home watching that fight that night on Showtime, they were trying to do more replays. The replays were so bad. There was a set of replays where in both replays, nobody landed a fucking punch. So then you got the commentators trying to talk about what's going on. They were terrible replays. When you know production, right? These guys are they're a fucking major network. They're supposed to be anyway. Showtime, Viacom, whatever. That's the product that you're putting on. When you know what you're looking for and you know what you're talking about in the production world, there's nobody that can disagree with me that Showtime is a horrible, horrible fucking production team. And listen, maybe it's because they're not willing to stay in Bellator. They're not willing to maybe move forward with boxing. So what does that tell you? They're not putting any money into it. There's probably no money in it and the guys can't do it. I don't know what the answer is, but it's embarrassing. God bless all of them that work on that show.
And I wanted to ask you about something non-fighting related for just a second. You actually own a PBR bull. How did that come together?
I'm deaf, so bear with me. You're on my bad side.
Your PER goal, how did that happen and ended up buying the goal?
I did looking for a fight back in 15 or 16. Dumbest thing I've ever done, riding a bull. But after I did it, I kind of got into it. You know, we went out on this ranch. This guy, Dennis Davis fucking bulls his ranch. And I said, I want to get into this. I'll buy a bull. So I bought a bull. He didn't do very well. I bought another bull. He didn't do very well. You know, bull business is a rough business. And finally, after all these years, I now have a bull that's actually going to buck a PBR. And this bull is nasty. Nasty, nasty. So he made it to the big time, and he's going to be here next week. He's coming to UFC. I'm going to have him out in the parking lot. I swear to God. He's going to be in the parking lot next week. You guys, hey, you got to do like a media day. Have the media come. This thing will scare the shit out of you, okay? They look at you like they want to kill you, okay? It's fun. You'll become hooked. And if you guys are in town and you're not in Abu Dhabi, he's going to be bucking at the PBR here in Vegas at T-Mobile. So those of you that are here, if you want to go, let us know and we'll get you guys set up over there to go check him out. But yeah, he's going to be here. Now, what day is he getting here?
The 16th of October.
Huh?
The 16th of October.
16th of October.
Got the Bulls travel schedule there.
He'll be in the parking lot of UFC headquarters.
We'll be looking forward to meeting him then. But I also remember when Howler had sponsored Trackhouse and NASCAR. Do you guys have any other plans to venture into other sports and industries?
PBR. PBR. Yeah. They're sponsoring the truck that pulls them and stuff like that. Yeah. We don't have that kind of money yet. So we had fun with the NASCAR thing, and I'm actually meeting with NASCAR again this month.
Are you going to sponsor like a specific team or like with working with NASCAR?
With NASCAR?
Yeah.
I don't know yet, but I'm flying down to Arizona. Me and Lorenzo actually. Me and Lorenzo are flying down to Arizona this month and meeting with all the powers that be of NASCAR, and talking to them about some stuff. Because me and Lorenzo are working on a lot of stuff together again. So.
Fair enough. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dana?
Yeah.
Just want your thoughts on this coming weekend's main event, Grant Dawson versus Bobby Green. Grant's finally getting his first main event, fighting a UFC veteran like Bobby Green. What do you, what were your thoughts on Grant Dawson as a fighter? Like, I feel like he's one of the most underrated lightweight fighters in the division. Do you kind of feel the same way?
We're going to find out on Saturday. That's the beauty of this. It's what I love about the sport and about the matchmaking that we do here. The question is he underrated? Bobby Green is the perfect fight to find out if that's true or not. Yeah, I love this main event. I'm excited for it.
And then finally for me,
the whole card is good too. Piper fight is a fun fight too, and yeah.
It's been about almost a month since Sean Strickland beat Israel Adesanya. Now that you've had a month to kind of think about it, is the plan for Sean to rematch Israel, or are you kind of waiting to see what the result is of Paulo Costa versus Hamzat Chimaev? Like, are you kind of just seeing how that fight goes, or do you kind of have a plan going?
Yeah, I mean that fight just happened, and a couple of fights are going to play out here now over the next month or so, and then we'll go from there and figure out what's next. Whatever the best fight to make when all is said and done, and who's injured, who's not injured, who can go, what time, where. There's a lot of different factors that play into what we're going to do next.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys done with me?
Hey, Dana,
Yeah.
what's the conversation like at home when you're saying I'm going to buy some balls?
The conversation with who?
At home, when you're saying I'm going to get into PBR balls, I'm going to buy balls.
It's not that I have the kind. I just kind of come home and tell everybody about it. I want some balls. We're in the bowl business. Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Again, like puppies, what do you cuddle a ball? What do you do with it aside from like
What
bucket?
can you do with a bull? Can you cuddle a bull? Can you do anything with a puppy?
Well, you show up on the 16th and let me know if you can cuddle a bull. I'm telling you right now, this thing's going to scare the shit out of you. This bull is mean and nasty, and no. I got this guy, like I said, his name is Dennis Davis. He owns Dennis Davis Bucking Bull. So he takes care of the bulls. He gets them ready, he takes them out and does all the stuff. So I'm just like I fund them and then watch them. And the goal is whether you get into the PBR bull thing or you get into horse racing or whatever it is, the goal is to win. And it's a long. I just saw this incredible story on. I think it was on HBO, like Real Sports or one of those. And I don't ever really watch that stuff. But I watched it the other day, and it was the basketball player. Did you guys see this? The NBA basketball player. I can't remember his name, but he was a big guy in like the late 90s, 2000s or whatever. And he fell in love with NASCAR. Him and his dad went to a NASCAR race. He ran into one of the big NASCAR stars, and he became obsessed with it. And he's been putting all his money into NASCAR all these years, and he finally just won a race. And I thought it was the coolest story ever, man. It was a really, really good story. So good, I can't remember anybody's names. It's a cool story if you look it up. I think it was on HBO Real Sports, but it's kind of like that. I got into it, and I like it, and I don't know how long I'll stay into it, but we're going to the PBR, and we'll see what the result is after he performs, and we'll see where we go from there.
Just piggybacking off something John said about the spear, I know you've recently told us that whenever there's something in production, when it's finished, you always watch it before it goes to air. With the graphics on the spear, would you want to kind of have some say in like having some UFC custom stuff to be broadcast on the interior or even the exterior?
For the sphere, would you want to have control of the graphics that would happen? You gotta go see event there.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes, I mean, every time we do, we put on a production. We control, we film, we do everything. A to Z, we cover it all. You ever look at a production of ours, right? And you have a problem with it, and you think it sucks. The buck stops right here. I'm completely engaged in all the production, but we're such a well-oiled machine right now, and the team that we've built over the last several, these guys know exactly what I'm looking for. It's very rare that I pick up that red phone and I'm pissed off about something. And if it's something that I do get mad about, you, the consumer, would never even notice it anyway, but I do. And I'm just telling you guys this, wait till you see October 25th, wait till you see the production of the next lap event. I'm telling you right now, wait till you see this. You guys already know the production. You know how fast, when a slap ends, immediately the replay is up there from 30 different angles, right? And I told you before, we have more cameras than the NFL on Power Slap, all right? Now, as we go into the 25th, wait till you see the features and the vignettes and the things that we just shot last week. There's no, HBO boxing didn't compare to what we're doing with Slap. It's just, when you talk about television production in sports, it's not comparable.
With the Sphere and how good it looks, and you were saying that, maybe having Mexican Independence Day there next year, does that make a fight at the Allegiant Stadium less likely?
Will we still have a fight at Allegiant Stadium?
You know that, with Allegiant, you have to have the right fight at the right time, and to sell that many tickets, you know what I mean? It's just, you'd have to have the right fight. I mean, when you think about stadiums, right? And especially in this country, I don't love the experience in a stadium. Now, when you go over to Australia and the UK, they're used to watching sporting events in stadiums. The United States, we're used to watching them in arenas. And I just think that when you're talking about fighting, you get such a better experience in an arena than you do a stadium. Although, we did Rousey versus Home in Australia. It was awesome in the stadium. It took me 46 minutes to walk back to my green room, but you know what I mean? They're just used to experiences in stadiums more than we are here, especially fights.
Next time.
Yep. Cool. What do you got?
One follow-up, I was just gonna, you told Big Boy that you were gonna watch Oscar De La Hoya's documentary.
I didn't yet. I didn't yet. I didn't yet. To be honest, I don't watch a lot of TV, but what I did love was the Nell Boy's interview with Canelo. First of all, let's start with this. How classy is Canelo? I mean, one of the classiest guys in the world. When I watched this, it's really the first interview that I've ever seen Canelo in, because obviously they're my guys, so I was watching the interview. Canelo is incredibly classy. But what have I told all of you for years about him being De La Hoya? And what did Canelo say? And it isn't just me.